Welcome back to my next playthrough series, a continuation of Hogwarts Battle, a cooperative deck building game. We are up to game 4, and so let's take a look at game 4, which came in this extremely large box. Pretty awesome. I was excited to open it up, and I did. And so let's take a look. So we're going to look at the changes for game 4. I've already done 1 through 3 on my channel, and let's see what's new for game 4. So we get 3 new location cards, use only game 4 location stack in order. So we'll take a quick look at that. We now have 3 new locations, starting with Quidditch World Cup location. And this time we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 villain influence on the card for it to flip to the next location. And each turn reveal 1 Dark Arts card. So we have Quidditch World Cup. Next is the Tri-Wizard Tournament. I'm not going to show you the rest of the card. And then the Graveyard. So those are the 3 cards, the 3 locations for game 4. Continuing on things that may or may not have been added, we get 8 new Dark Arts cards. Shuffle the Dark Arts cards together. So now all of the Dark Arts cards from game 1 through 4 all shuffled in there, already done. We get 2 new villain cards. Shuffle all villain cards, reveal the top 2 villains from the villain stack. So all villain cards plus the 2 new ones from game 4 are now shuffled in. So they're all shuffled. The 2 that we're getting to start with for game 4 is Lucius Malfoy. And each time a Dark Influence is added to the location, remove 1 attack from all villains. And as a reward, all heroes gain an influence. Remove 1 Dark Influence from the location. 7 hit points. And we have the lovely Crab and Goyle again. Each time a Dark Arts event or villain causes a hero to discard a card, the hero loses a health. And as a reward, all heroes draw a card. Those are our 2 starting villains. So yes, we will be playing with 2 villains out this time like we did in game 3. We have 21 new Hogwarts cards. Shuffle all the Hogwarts cards together. So now we've got an ever-growing stack. So let's take a quick look at our Hogwarts cards. And we have the Marauders map. This is from game 3. It says draw 2 cards. If you discard this, all heroes draw a card costing 5. And yes, my battery camera is dying. Oh, it's so annoying. Let me change the battery, come back, look at the other 5, and continue on with how game 4 is set up. All right, fresh battery in. Let's continue looking at the cards. So from game 1, we're getting Descendo, gain 2 attack, costing 5. So pretty expensive card. We then have from game 3 again, the Crystal Ball. Draw 2 cards, then discard any 1 card, costing 3. And brand new for game 4, which is going to introduce a new mechanic, which is pretty cool. You've probably seen it at the top of the screen there. Hogwarts, a history. Choose any one of the house dice to roll, costing 4. And so why don't we look at the house dice right now? Very cool. So you get these 4 big chunky dice that came in. New to game 4. Very cool. And we'll take a look at them here in a second on our setup card as we keep going through it, but pretty neat. And then we have from game 4, new card as well, Protecto, gain 1 attack, 1 life. If you discard this, gain 1 attack and 1 life, costing 5. So I have to remember discard effects in this game. I seem to remember missing those quite a few times. And from game 1, the Golden Snitch, gain 2 influence and draw a card costing 5. So we have 3s, 4s, and 5s out here. And once again, you can wipe all cards if you don't buy any and replace all 6. I believe once per game, if you want to do that. Sort of an unofficial, official rule. All right, and so we've already looked at the dice. We get 4 Hogwarts house dice. See the next page, and they're new. I've just shown you them. And you prepare your hero, same as game 3. So we'll take a look at Harry, we'll take a look at Ron, and over on the next page, we have the Hogwarts dice. So we have Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and they're different dice. They have different symbols on them. They basically all have influence, attack, life, and draw cards on them. And it says all dice are different, but have at least 1 of each symbol. So that's, I won't read through all the text, but that's basically in a nutshell. We actually have dice now. We can roll through some of the cards. And some of the new cards will actually have roll the Gryffindor dice, roll the Slytherin dice, roll whatever. So cool. End of game abilities are the same. We have to defeat all villains to win. And if the villains control all locations, the heroes lose. So that's game 4. Very cool. And let's take one quick look at Harry. We're still using the Game 3 characters. Harry's ability, the first time you remove Dark Influence from the location each turn, any one hero gains 1 attack. Alright, that's Harry, same as we were last, Game 3, and Ron from Game 3 as well. If you assign 3 or more attack on your turn, any one hero gains 2 life. And that is the setup. And of course, both Harry and Ron start at 10 health. If they ever get down to 0 health, they get stunned. We'll deal with that when it happens. Alright, enough talking about the intro and the setup. As per the other playthroughs, I'm going to be doing basically two turns. So Harry's going to go, Ron's going to go, and then we're going to have Harry go, Ron go. And that will be the end of the episode. And so we can take a look very quickly. This is the game, comes with game 1. Tells you the turn order. So we're going to reveal and resolve the Dark Arts card. The first step, the second step is resolve the villain abilities. Third step is to play Hogwarts card, take hero actions, and then end of your turn, discard any remaining cards, tokens, and then draw 5 new cards. So that's how a turn will happen. So we're going to come right back. We are going to start with Harry. So it's going to be Harry Ron, then Harry Ron. It will be intro and episode 1. Okay, let's begin game 4. Can I remember all the rules and everything? Let's find out. First thing we do on a turn, the evil, the horrible Dark Arts card. So, oh, and it's a game 4. Ouch, it's probably going to be bad. And I won't pronounce it. All heroes lose a health, add 1 influence to the location. Well, that's not great. So Harry's going to go from 10 health down to 9. Ron also goes from 10 health down to 9. And we add a dark influence to the Quidditch World Cup location. All right, that's the Dark Arts card. And remember, we're drawing 1 because that's what our Quidditch World Cup tells us to do. Lucius, each time Dark Influence is added to a location, remove 1 attack from all villains. Well, that triggers, but it has no effect because we don't have any attacks. And this, each time a Dark Arts event or villain causes a hero to discard a card, which didn't happen, that hero loses 1 life. Okay, so this didn't trigger. All right, we're over to Harry. Harry's starting 5 cards, so I shuffled his 10 card starting deck, and we're going to look at his 5 cards. So he has a Loa Morha, he has Hedwig, Loa Morha, Loa Morha, Morha. So he has basically 4 influence, and he might as well use Hedwig as an attack. So he's going to have 4 influence and 1 attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll put them out here again so I don't forget. 4 influence, 1 attack. All right, who does he want to hit? I think, oh man, I think the most annoying villain at the time right now is Lucius Malfoy. So we'll put the 1 attack on him. And now for 4 influence, I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to take the new Game 4 card for Harry. Hogwarts of History. Choose any one of the house dice to roll, costing 4. So that's going to go into his discard. So it's going to cost him his 4 influence. And he's just gained that card. All right, so now we're at the end of Harry's turn. So we're going to discard all of his cards. He's going to draw 5 new cards for his next hand, and we're going to replace the Hogwarts card. All right, with a Nimbus 2001. Gain 2 attack. If you defeat a villain, also gain 2 influence. All right, well that was that was Harry's opening turn. If I haven't made any errors, which I don't think I did, we're now going to go over to Ron Weasley. All right, over to Ron. First thing we do in a turn, yes indeed, Dark Arts card. It's a game 2. Poison. All heroes choose 1. Discard an ally or lose 2 health. Ooh, that's not very nice. So we'll take a look at Harry's hand. Harry does not have an ally, but he has his invisibility cloak. If this is in your hand, you can't lose more than 1 health from each Dark Arts event or villain. So he'll use his cloak. It's in his hand right now. So instead of taking 2 damage, he's only going to take 1. So he's going to go from 9 health down to 8. So that's for Harry. And we'll see what Ron's going to do. So he does have Pigwidgeon, an ally. So he can discard this ally, or he can take 2 health damage. If he gets, I think, you know what? I think he's going to take the 2 damage. So he's going to go from 9 health down to 7. All right, that's the Dark Arts card. Wow, that was nice. So Lucius, each time you add a Dark Influence to a location, did not happen. Each time a Dark Arts event or villain card causes a hero to discard a card. Nobody discarded a card. If we had discarded an ally, we would have taken a damage anyway because of Crab and Goyle. So this doesn't trigger. All right, so now we're over to Ron. Ron is going to play his cards. All right, Ron is at 7 health, so he's still okay. So he will play Pigwidgeon. Now he can use Pigwidgeon as either 1 attack or 2 health. I wonder if he should. Oh man, I think he's going to go ahead and use Pigwidgeon for 2 health. Let's get that 2 health back, 7 back to 9. We don't want to be stunned out of the game. Then he's going to play Birdie Bot's Every Flavor Beans. Gain an influence for each ally played this turn. Gain an attack. So that's going to give him 1 influence. Also going to give him 1 attack. And then he has 3 more influence from Aloha Morhaz. So 3 more influence. So he has a total of 4 influence, 1 attack. He will apply the 1 attack to Lucius Malfoy. Keeping in mind Ron's ability, whenever he assigns 3 or more attack on his turn, any hero gains 2 health. Didn't happen, but I have to keep that in mind. He now has 4 influence to spend, and the only thing that he can buy is the crystal ball. So he may as well go ahead and spend his 3 influence on the crystal ball, which lets him draw 2 cards, then discard any 1 card. So that's going to go to his discard pile, freshly bought. End of the turn, which means he's going to be discarding all of his cards now. He's going to be discarding any tokens or influence and attack he could not or didn't use. And he will be drawing 5 new cards, which we will look at if we need to. And we're going to be replacing now the Hogwarts card, which is the game 1. Wingardium Levioso. Gain 1 influence. You may put items you acquire atop your deck instead of in your discard pile. All right. Wow, lots of 5s. We've got to somehow get influence. Okay, that was Ron's turn. Up next, once again, Harry Potter. All right, over to Harry. First thing we do, the horrid and horrible Dark Arts card. Ooh, Expulso. Active hero loses 2 health. Getting beat on pretty early here in the game. Harry's going to go from 8 health down to 6. We didn't add in evil influence to a location. Lucius will not trigger. And we didn't discard any cards. So we just took 2 damage. So Crab and Goyle don't trigger. All right. Over to Harry. Harry's cards for this turn. Invisibility Cloak. Oh, hang on. This was in his hand. So instead of taking 2 damage, he will take only 1. So we're going to put him back up to 7 health. Forgot about that. This is in his hand. Whenever he takes more than 1 damage, he only takes 1 from the villain. So that was a good card to come up on Harry's turn. All right, what does he have? He has his Firebolt, which he will play. That's going to give him 1 attack. Lomorha Invisibility Cloak. So he's going to have 1, 2, 3, basically 4 influence. And 4 influence. And you cannot save influence or attack from round to round. Everything's costing 5. This is not the greatest setup. Now we could not buy anything and wipe the entire board off and replace it with 6 cards. But I don't think we're going to do that at the moment. So we're going to take the 1 attack. We're going to apply it to Lucius Malfoy. He's going to spend 2 of his influence to get Wingardium Leviosa. Gain an influence. And you can put items on top of your deck instead of in your discard pile. So he's gaining that. Basically now the end of his turn. He can't afford anything else. The 2 influence are going to be wasted. All of his cards are going to be discarded. He's going to shuffle up his hand, which I'll do off screen. Drop 5 new cards. And now we're going to replace the Hogwarts card. Come on. Oh, it's a 6. Wow. Alistair Mad-Eye Moody. Gain 2 influence. Remove 1 dark influence from the location, costing 6. So now all of our cards are 5s and 6s. we may need to think about ditching cards unless Ron can somehow come up with 5 influence. All right, that's the end of Harry's turn. Up last for this episode will be Ron Weasley, so let's get to it. All right, well, Ron Weasley's turn will be the end of the episode. First thing we do, of course, the Dark Arts card, which are always horrible. Oh, it's a game 4. I'm sure this is going to be great. Avada Kedavra. Oh, man. Active hero loses 3 health. I'm glad he used Pigwidgeon to heal. If this stuns the hero, also add 1 dark influence to the location. Reveal an additional Dark Arts event. Wow! Okay, things are getting ugly. So he's going to go from 9 down to 6 health. And as an added bonus, we're going to reveal another Dark Arts card. But we didn't add dark influence to the location because Ron is not stunned. Ouch, that hurt. And we reveal another Dark Arts card, gain 2. Obliviate. All heroes choose 1. Discard a spell or lose 2 health. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at Harry. He can either discard a spell or lose 2 health, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 influence. If he discards a spell, he only has 4. Living dangerously. Harry's going to lose 2 health. He's going to go from 7 down to 5. Probably insane, but I want him to have 5 influence. All right, let's take a look at Ron. Ron can either lose a spell or lose 2 health. Wow. Well, I think he's not going to lose 2 health because he only has 4 influence. Oh, man. Maybe. Nah, we're going to go ahead and discard a spell. Hello Morha is discarded for Ron, so he does not lose 2 health. All right, wow, this is going to get tough. I have a feeling game 4 not going to be quite the cakewalk that the first 3 were. All right, now we'll look at triggers for the villains. Did we add any dark influence to the location? No, we didn't. Malfoy does not trigger. Each time Dark Arts villain causes a hero to discard a card, the hero loses a health. Well, Ron just discarded a spell, so he could have lost 2 health, but because he discarded the spell, Crabbe and Goyle make him lose a health from 6 down to 5. Not good. Harry and Ron are both at 5 health. It's only the 4th turn of the game. All right, it's Ron's turn now to play cards. Clean sweep. Well, obviously he's going to be playing that, giving him 1 attack. And then, unfortunately, he only has 1, 2, 3 influence. And if we look at what is sitting here to buy, 3 influence buys him nothing. So Ron has a choice to make. He can wipe the board and replace it with 6 cards because he's not going to buy anything with his influence. Or he can just leave it for Harry because Harry does have 5 influence. But Harry might have to discard a card at the beginning of his turn, which means then he wouldn't be able to buy anything. Oh man, it's a tough choice. But let's put the attack on Lucius first. 4 attacks now. I think Ron is going to go ahead and wipe the board. And this is a rule that has come down since the game has been released. We're going to discard those. We're going to refill 6 new cards. So I guess we'll take a look at them one at a time. So we get Polyjuice Potion. Choose an ally you've played this turn. You can copy the effects of that ally, costing 3. I'll write some lower cost. 4, game 4, Asio. Choose 1, gain 2 influence. Or search your discard pile for an item and put it in your hand. Wow, that's pretty cool, costing 4. 3, Reparo. Choose 1, gain 2 influence, or draw a card. Wow, we need some health back. Hagrid, gain 1 attack. All heroes gain a health. That's something Ron is going to need to get. Allies do well with him. Expelliarmus, gain 2 attack, draw a card, costing 6. And lastly, Expelliarmus, same thing again. Gain 2 attack, draw a card. All right, that was replacing the deck because Ron did not buy anything. So we can do that once per game. And that is now done. We're not going to be able to do that again. But now at least we have a few lower cost cards that we may have a chance of purchasing later. Well, that's it for Ron's turn. He's going to discard his cards. He's going to shuffle up, draw 5 new ones. And that's going to conclude our episode for today. We're playing Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle cooperative deck building game. We are on to game 4, which I think is going to be pretty darn nasty. We have to defeat all villains. And how many villains do we have now? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 villains to defeat before they take over the 3 locations. We're still drawing only 1 Dark Arts card per turn. Wow, this is going to be a tough one. So thanks so much for watching along. Once again, Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. Thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. And as usual, I'll leave comments and or notes in the videos if I've messed up and try to catch it in the next episode. If not, check the comment section as well. So thanks so much, and we'll see you the next time, the continuation of this battle.